Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time for some more Bloodsword. Now, let's just quickly take stock of the situation. Our four characters are in reasonably good shape, but all sporting some minor damage. All inventories are currently full. Everyone's got everything they can. I'm going to repeat the section from the end of the last episode, but I'm going to remind myself that I can't heal this section because I used healing on this section in the previous episode. Additionally, one other thing. Last time, looking at this lovely old crappy map I threw together, when we fought the barbarians, we headed straight for the chamber with the scrolls. We did not head down this way to the room with the assassins. If we did, we would have been in for another tough fight, nowhere near as tough as the barbarians, who are just epic and legendary in comparison. But we may have gained a minor magical item that would have assisted us in the fights to come. We didn't do that, we went straight to the scrolls and then the gambler. So, oh well, I missed that item. If you want to know what that is, you'll have to play the adventure yourself. Or perhaps you already have. So, you start to make the descent. The steps soon emerge onto a perilous ledge that snakes down the back wall of a vast underground cave. You look out for a moment, awestruck at the unearthly panorama before you. The cavern stretches away for 2 kilometers or more, and the ceiling is 100 meters high in places. The basin below is the crater of a dormant volcano, and a deep red glow illuminates the cave from volcanic geysers that splutter and gurgle lava through the cracks in the cave floor. The ceiling is supported by gigantic basalt pillars that reach up into the dizzying gloom. You feel that you are below the very foundations of Callaghan's keep, and the thought of the sorcery that keeps the ravenous volcano in check takes your breath away. Here and there, rents in the rock ceiling trickle. Here and there, from rents in the rock ceiling, trickles of noxious liquid spray down. These are the outlets of the keep's sewers, and the volcanic fires burn with a resentful green light when one of these streams hits the floor. Hits the floor, indeed. There's no floor in a cavern. Well, there is. It's not the ground. Yeah, okay, fine. The bottom of the crater, far below the ledge on which you cling, rolls with a greenish-white mist that makes it difficult to see anything but the sputtering of red fires. 3 pinnacles rise out of this sea of fog. The first of these is joined to a platform at the bottom of your ledge by 2 narrow bridges. The crossing looks perilous, as you have only to miss a step and you would plummet into a gorge where there flows a roaring torrent of evil-smelling water. Across the bridges you see a soot-blackened temple atop the first pinnacle. Foul hags caper out onto a terrace in front of the temple as you wend your way down the ledge. A welcoming party? No, they are pointing up at a host of winged dirges that are swooping down through the unwholesome air. They've come out to watch the show then. You wryly reflect that perhaps you'll give them a spectacle they'll enjoy. And here we have a lovely illustration demonstrating. So we've got 2 bridges, temple, then there should be another one over here, and then there's a third one over... No, those look like 3 pillars. Hang on. 3 pinnacles rise out of this sea of fog. It's not these, because this is supposed to be on top of one of these. So there's a second one, maybe here, a third one way back there. Anyway, let's turn to 318. The dirges are screeching hungrily as they soar in to attack you. These dingy creatures fly on the updrafts of hot, fetid air rising from the geyser pools far below. You spare a glance of hatred for the hags who have gathered to watch your desperate battle. You see them cackling, but you cannot hear them over the noise of the river flooding down the gorge. We may wish to use an item. We could race down the ledge to a platform to face them. Or make our stand here on the ledge. Well, what I'm going to do first of all is remember this is not a combat section, so I can heal. Brother Kern will sacrifice 1 point of endurance. 5 minus 2 is 3, so he gets 3 points back. He'll give 1 to himself. You know what? One to Remy. Properties, there we go. And 1 to Sir Alwyn. Placing Sir Alwyn almost at full health. I think we will try to use an item. We might just have something useful here. We've got 2 of these, just a moment, nearly at 89. Octagonal glass prisms. Which item will you use? An ice jewel, not a nice jewel, a vellum scroll, an octagonal prism, or a ruby ring? Well, first off, we have none of those here. We have the blue ice jewel, octagonal glass prism. Shouldn't we have 2 of those? Because we got one earlier from... Hang on. We got one earlier. What's wrong here? Did I not... Hang on. Oh. Because we got one from our patron and one from a gambler, so where is it? Blue ice jewel. Or am I mistaken? Did we not get one from a gambler? Oh, bother. I'm going to have to go check now. One moment. Okay, I see what I've done. When we received the second octagonal glass prism, Remy had the golden snuff box of Shormiano, which he handed off to Brother Kern, which freed up his inventory slot 10, and then he picked up the blue ice jewel. I should definitely have taken the octagonal glass prism. It's too important to leave it behind, so I'm just going to have to ditch some food. I gave the box to him to make space for the glass prism, and then forgot to add it to the inventory slot and shove the blue ice jewel in there. So obviously Remy was too greedy to pick it up. We'll give it to her then. You know what I should do? I should just put it right up here. Yeah. Because the fact that I could gain 2 of the same item is probably very important. It might be one of those... Yes, now we only have 11 food instead of 12. So we can't heal everybody after the next 3 fights. But because the food can only be used after a fight, and our sage's healing has been pretty effective so far, I'm happy to ditch the food and go, look, my bad, I completely messed up last time. I didn't leave the item behind on purpose. It was just a simple human error. I ballsed up. So, do I want to use an octagonal prism? Well, I've got 2 of them, so I could throw one away. But if it doesn't work, and if having 2 is actually helpful or useful, I probably shouldn't do that. I do have a blue ice jewel. that Remy has. Now, these creatures are rising on the thermal vents, right, from the volcanic lava pools below. And if this ice is going to do anything, it could cool those warm air updrafts and reduce their ability to harry and harass us. So I'm going to absolutely use that. There we go, an ice jewel. Did I heal this section? I did not. Let's do that. 1 point again. Oh, 3 more. So, 1 comes back to Gravikern. We'll give 1 to Remy. 1 to Brother Kern, placing him on 9 and 11. I don't... If I hadn't shifted the item from Remy to Brother Kern, I would have remembered to pick up the glass prism, and then I would have gone, oh, I need space for the ice gem as well. Well, it's gone now. Ice gem gone. Bye-bye. Right. You fling the ice jewel out from the ledge, calling upon its power. It chills the warm air currents that enable the dirges to stay aloft, and they spiral down out of control into the mist-shrouded river that courses along the gorge far below. Breathing a sigh of relief, you make your way down to the platform at the bottom of the ledge, and I'm going to also do a quick 1 point heal again because we still need it. Oh, 3. He gets back the point he spent. I think he'll keep it for himself. And 142. We've got a nice picture here. Some kind of gargoyle's head on the cavern wall with water, or I presume that's water pouring out of it. And here would be there's one narrow bridge. There's another one on the other side of the waterfall. Again, presuming that's water and that it's safe to pass through. There's almost a little face of a rock down here. That's like a nose and a little eye. Anyway. The platform is a wide shelf of rock jutting out from the cave wall. Across the deep gorge, you jeer at the ugly hags, now incensed that you have defeated their pets. The only way to get across the gorge is via one of 2 bridges that span the distance to the temple terrace. A waterfall cascades over the middle of the platform, bisecting it and cutting you off from the further of the 2 bridges. Looking up, you see a huge gargoyle head carved into the cave wall near the roof. The water issues from its mouth, cascades down in a torrent towards the middle of the platform, then pours down into the swirling river far beneath you. As you consider the 2 bridges, a booming voice makes you look up once more. The mouth of the gargoyle is moving, and by listening hard, you can make sense out of the deep rumbling words. Over and over it intones, "Face that which you fear most, or confront a lesser foe." Presumably it is referring to the 2 bridges. You could cross the near bridge with no apparent trouble, but you could get to the to get to the further one, you must step through the waterfall. The gargoyle's words are weighty with ambiguity. Which to choose? All players must cross. This must be done 1 at a time. Each player should now write down the entry number that refers to him or her, and when he or she wishes to cross, he or she should turn to that entry. The order in which people cross is up to them. So, interesting. Speech bubble isn't showing, so we'll use GM name instead. Warrior is 472. The Trickster 113. The Sage 426. And the Enchantress 252. So obviously I'm going to heal here before I try to cross. 1 point from Brother Kern. He gets 1 point back, gives it back to himself. Okay. Or does he? Hang on. I think he should give this point to whoever's going to cross first, because the others, 2 of the others are nearly at full health. Ariadne is not at full health. We don't know how dangerous or how safe the bridges are going to be, and they're quite narrow, and we have to cross one at a time, meaning we're going to be on our own. So being in tip-top condition is probably quite important. Next up, remember last episode I said there was possibly a little exploit? Technically, the Sage's healing doesn't say he has to be on the same side of the bridge to heal people, but that feels like cheating, right? So whoever goes across first might get hurt and may need healing. The people who are on this side, like Ariadne, may not be at full health. So I will take this point that he has sacrificed, dropping him down to an 8, and transfer it to one of these 3. So who should I send first? I think... Ooh. There's 2 bridges for each character, 2 challenges. One will be much more challenging, the other will be more difficult, less so. Now, the gargoyles, there's actually a bit of misleading here. The gargoyles' words imply that the near bridge is the safe one, and passing through the waterfall to the far bridge is more dangerous. But in actuality, dear listeners and viewers, I can let you know now, the near bridge is the most dangerous, and the one beyond the waterfall is the less dangerous of the 2. That is not made very clear. However, who do we want to send first? We have to make a decision. Remy's kind of feeling lucky. He's been cocky, fairly fortunate so far. He's also thinking, however, that if he comes into any trouble in any of the bridges, he can probably use cunning, trickery, and guile to make his way across. And as such, he won't be needing Blutgetranke, and will probably give it back to Sir Alwyn in exchange for his old sword. I did say at one point of the adventure the swords would be exchanged once again, and Sir Alwyn would get the sword he was earlier given. Ariadne isn't feeling so confident because she's wounded. She'd like to stay behind here, where Brother Kern can heal her. Now, on that note, we could send Brother Kern first, and then he could heal people on the other side. However, as not everyone is on full health, maybe we send him second. So we send one person across, they can take a bit of damage. Brother Kern then follows, and then he's waiting to heal the other 2 when they get across, which means that while one person is crossing, he will have the opportunity to heal up the other 2 a bit. Yeah, I'll go with that. So he's not going first. I will place him down here to show he's not going first, right? No, you can go... No, that'll be fine. Ariadne's not on full health, so she won't go first either. With 1 point of healing, I can place either of these 2 at full health. Sir Alwyn's just going to fight, but a warrior challenge is likely to be a fight and is likely to be very dangerous, whereas a trickster challenge is likely to be not so dangerous. So we'll give the point of healing to Remy, and he will return Blutgetranke to Sir Alwyn and say, "Here you are, old friend. You'll probably need... Thing is, I don't think he can walk out onto the bridge, use it, and lay it down on the bridge for the next person to cross. So we will go with Remy first, which is going to be 113. You have to decide which of the two bridges to use. They appear identical, but in order to reach the further of the two, you must first pass through the waterfall issuing from a gargoyle's mouth. Now, we can cross by the near bridge or go under the waterfall. I think, while Remy's making up his mind, Brother Kern's going to make another quick healing attempt for 1 point. It's gone. He loses the point. Not quite so ideal. I think Remy's going to live... go for the waterfall. He's probably sticky and sweaty and got blood on him from the fight with the barbarians. It's a chance to clean off a little. You know, he's not going to exactly stand there and wash himself. You flip a coin, then decide to take the further bridge. Stepping into the waterfall, you feel a strange tingling across your skin as some fey sorcery seeps out of the cold water. Roll 2 dice, trying to score equal to or less than your awareness. Oh well, here we go. His awareness is 8. So trying to roll an 8 or less on 2 dice is the same as trying to roll a 5 or more on 2 dice. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, Remy, you lucky so-and-so. Let's see how that goes then. Oh, this is also a healing opportunity. We should blatantly do that for 1 point. Oh, man. Oh, no. Well, that'll teach me for trying to heal too often. Looks like our sage brother Kern has lost another point. We can't keep that happening, or we'll have to use one of those healing scrolls. Okay, so what's happening with poor Remy? Well, he's got quite lucky here. So, nimble, agile, aware, alert. Let's see. You feel a faint tug at your belt and instantly realise that unseen fingers are trying to steal your possessions. Set a thief to catch a thief, you whisper to yourself, suddenly whirling round under the waterfall and fending the invisible hands away. One of them clutches something, probably filched from another adventurer who passed this way, and you grab this as you retreat from the water. You examine the item you have gained. It is a vial of chimera spittle, a deadly delayed action poison. Well, we'll take that. However, it's worth noting that this section here is the same one as going to the near bridge. So Remy's not going through the water. He's gone in the water, decided he didn't like it, coming back to go the other way. Okay. Also, this is another healing section, so you know what that means, don't you? Hooray! 3, 4, 5, 2 points. If we give 1 point to Sir Alwyn, and 1 point to... It's going to have to be Remy again. Sorry, Brother Kern, just to start getting him some back. Okay, 267 it is. You saunter out onto the bridge. It is a long drop to either side, but this doesn't prevent you from dancing a precarious jig to excite the ghoulish hags. They expect to see you fall, and you give a mock terrified whirl of your arms that has them clustering eagerly at the edge of the gorge, but then you recover your balance and stroll effortlessly on, laughing when you see them spit with disappointment. Suddenly, a rumbling voice lowers your high spirits. "Come from death," commands the gargoyle head. In answer to its summons, a shadowy figure materializes on the bridge ahead of you. It steps forwards, and the ruddy light of the volcanic jet shows you a man in a brocade gown. He has a jeweled patch over one eye, and the other is milky and sightless. It is Horondus the Blind, a mad sorcerer whom you killed in a duel several years ago. You know that his lack of sight is deceptive. His other senses more than compensate for this disability. "Horondus," booms the gargoyle head, "your dearest foe wishes to cross the bridge. Prevent this, and you shall be restored to life." "My dearest foe," says Horondus venomously. "This is where we conclude our vendetta at last." We could try to fight him, or use our wits. Is Remy feeling lucky? He's been lucky once. I think he thinks he can be lucky again. But this was not a combat section, so we're going to try a 1-point heal. Hey, extra point. We'll give this back to Brother Kern. He's building up his healing reserves to try and get Ariadne on full health, and himself at some point soon as well. This is a massive gamble. Oh, awareness again. Okay, we'll see. "Dearest foe," you reply, feigning astonishment. "Dearest foe? This may be your understanding of our relationship, Horondus, but it is not mine. Candidly, I slew you only by accident, and have no recollection of our ever having met before that time. Certainly, whenever the prophetess was a far deadlier enemy of mine than you were. Also Guffar Redbeard, and Lactan of Crescentium. And then there was—" Horondus has heard enough. He gives a furious bellow and charges down the bridge towards you, thrusting his sword forwards like a lance. You must time your next action perfectly. Roll 2 dice, trying to score equal to or less than your awareness. If we fail, this is going to go horribly wrong. So, fingers crossed for Ra Remy. Oh yes! 7 is less than an 8. Also, healing. 1 point. Bosh. Stays the same. If you succeed, turn to 337. Our trickster has done well. Let's see how well. You twist to one side at the last moment, deftly evading the point of Horondus' sword. Even before he has time to realise what you are doing, you put your hand on his shoulder and vault over his head. He gives a wail of despair as you race to the edge of the bridge, and staggering blindly, he topples over into the gorge. "So much for Horondus," you say to one of the goggling hags. There's probably more. "So much for Horondus," you say to one of the goggling hags. And Brother Kern will attempt to utter the mantra of healing once again for 1 whole point. Hey, he gets an extra point back. He will give that to Ariadne to boost her confidence a little. Now, turn to 88. Okay. You reach the other side of the bridge and step onto the terrace. The hags glare at you but keep their distance. If any other players are still on the other side of the gorge, they must decide who will cross next and turn to the appropriate entry. If no one remains on the other side... No. If you have been travelling with Imragan, and he is now alone on the other side, we have not been travelling with Imragan. He is a character we have not met in this playthrough. And if we had been travelling with him, he would have been able to help us in the barbarian fight. Who should be crossing next? Well, Sir Elwyn is full of endurance points and confidence. And if he fights, everyone can eat food afterwards. Ariadne would like to get that last point of health back before she tries to cross. We also want to get Brother Kern over there to help heal people. But have I healed this section? I think we send Brother Kern next. In a slightly exploitative manner. In the next section, as he attempts to cross the bridge, he can heal, and he can do the healing before he steps onto the bridge. So we'll do that. He is 426. Also, we remove this now because Remy the Trickster has made it safely across. 426. Okay. Brother Kern heads towards the bridge, but not before attempting one last time to heal our Enchantress. There we go. To reach the further of the two bridges, you must first pass through the waterfall. Well, we don't particularly want to do that, because Remy has warned us that the water was trying to steal his items. So Brother Kern will ponder the waterfall and attempt 1 point of healing. Oh, that is tragic. No healing. Let's hope Ariadne can make it across with only 1 endurance point. We'll cross by the closer bridge instead. And you know what? Before setting foot on it, we will once again attempt our healing. Because we're still on this side for now. 1 whole point. There we go. We get our point back. We give a point to her. She also is on full health. The only person now not on full health is Brother Kern, and he is the one attempting a crossing. But that does mean he can heal himself. You step out onto the bridge and begin to make your way along it. You look down to see a surging river of miasma gushing along the bottom of the gorge 100 meters below. Just as you reach the midpoint of the bridge, the gargoyle's head speaks again. "Be mortal again," it says. As if in answer, a dark shape begins to form on the bridge in front of you. Within moments, it is a thin, pale woman who stands there. She sweeps forwards, drawing a sharp steel sword from under her torn black robes. Her eyes glimmer with recognition at the same instant that yours do. She is Nemesis, whose mother was a demon and whose father was a mortal man. She was your bitterest foe until the day you took her life 6 years ago. Life and death... Oh no, it is the gargoyle. Life and death are not immutable, groans the gargoyle. Fight to decide who shall live. Nemesis gives a slight bow, which turns into a forward roll as she closes to strike. Her sword slashes your arm, inflicting 4 endurance points of damage, less armor rating. He has an armor rating of 2. So Brother Kern takes 2 points of damage, taking him down to 5 endurance. He is in no fit state to fight at this point. If still alive, you lose no time in counterattacking. If this becomes a combat section, I should not have been able to heal. I do appear to have an option to evade combat, though. She has the same fighting prowess, awareness, endurance, and psychic ability as you started the adventure with. So, fighting prowess, psychic ability of 7, awareness of 6, and starting endurance 10 to R5. She's already got an injury in. She inflicts 1 more point of damage than you do each time she hits, but she has no armor. So she does 1 more damage but has 2 less armor. and we're on half health. That would be slightly weighted against us. You cannot retreat as an energy barrier now blocks the bridge behind you. Your companions, if any, cannot help you by any means. The only way you could get out of this battle would be to try levitating yourself off the bridge. I think we will do just that, rather than stay here and fight to the death. 282. Why fight when surely knowledge provides suitable enlightenment and another way? The power of levitation is perhaps the most difficult of all your psionic disciplines. It requires that you realize the unreality of mass and weight, which is no easy thing when one is surrounded by the physical world. To clear your mind, reaching towards the perfect understanding of enlightenment. If you desire your foe's death above all else, turn to 534. If you feel that victory and defeat are in fact equivalent, turn to 173. Well, look, we're not going to be calm and peaceful if we're thinking, die, die, I want to kill you, you're going to die. But if we just go, look, in the end, if I get across the bridge, she dies. If I die, she gets across the bridge and gets to live. One of us survives, one does not. And it doesn't really matter what happens to her on the bridge, because I won't be here to fight her. Also, I'm going to live really dangerously and attempt a point of healing while I'm pondering this, which I lose tragically, going down to 4 endurance. So yeah, win or lose, it's all the same, really. Look, I'm trying to dissociate mass and matter and weight. What weight is there to victory or defeat? Overall, they're about the same, really. You have passed into the proper transcendent state. Reality flows around you, but you are able to reach beyond it into nirvana. You feel the sensation of gravity's tug fade away, and weightless, you drift into the air. In your serene state, you are disinterestedly aware that your foe, having lunged just as you rose up into mid-air, has fallen from the bridge into the gorge. You feel this thought pulling you back to reality, and you slowly settle down onto the bridge once more. You glance down into the gorge, but your opponent's body has been swept away by the crashing river. With a sigh, you continue over the bridge. I will attempt one more point of healing, even though... down to 3 endurance, in which case I will use a healing scroll, as this is getting rather serious. 8 points back. 3 and 8 is 11. This is all to self. There we go. And Brother Kern is now, I believe, across the bridge. You reach the other side of the bridge and step on to the terrace. The hags glare at you but keep their distance. If any other players are still on the other side of the gorge, they must decide who will cross next and turn to the appropriate entry. In many regards, Sir Alwyn and Ariadne both wish to cross. If they take any damage, Brother Kern can heal them on the other side, and he can heal the person who gets across first while the second one is crossing. As we suspect the warrior's challenge is likely to involve violence, we might as well send Sir Alwyn across first. Technically, at this point, Brother Kern could attempt to heal Ariadne on the opposite side of the bridge, even though that feels like cheating, so I won't do that. Also, if Sir Alwyn fights on the bridge, Ariadne can eat food afterwards, because it's after a fight. And that would free up more pack space and get us down to 10 items of food carried. So yes, we'll have Sir Alwyn attempt to cross next. 472. It's also worth noting that the combat section on the bridge for the Sage did not include a battle map. 472. Uh-oh. 140. That's an enchanter section. It's 142, 143. 478. There we go. Alright. I will correct that just so it doesn't become a problem. Sir Alwyn flexes his grip on Blutgetranker, glad to have it back in his grasp. He saw Remy put it to good use against the barbarians. Oh! Which means Remy is not using a magic sword, so his fighting prowess goes back down to a 7. And Sir Alwyn's rises to a 9. There we go. Excellent. I knew there was something. You're about to cross one of the bridges spanning the gorge. You must now decide whether to cross the bridge nearer to you, or whether to step through the waterfall to take the other bridge. The bridges seem identical. We shall take the closer bridge. At this point, there is no one for Brother Kern to heal because he is on the other side of the bridge. You advance across the first bridge. A shimmering energy barrier springs up behind you, preventing you from going back until whatever drama you must face has run its course. So be it. You stride on determinedly. The gargoyle head speaks again. Arise from death. Arise from ashes. You look around, perplexed, but soon see that its words were not addressed to you. A figure gradually takes shape ahead of you on the bridge, a hulking berserker in a rotting chainmail vest. He lifts his warhammer with arms that look bloodless and dead. A flicker of red fire from the spurting geyser illuminates his face, and you know him at once. It is Bjorn Smithhammer, your most hated foe. But you slew him 3 years past. The winner shall have life, groans the stone head. Bjorn grins and steps forward. The skin of his face is just a tattered cobweb of decay. He says thickly, "Ja, old foe, here's where we change places," and with that he swings his hammer in a bone-breaking arc towards you. Bjorn has the same fighting prowess, psychic ability, and awareness that you started with. His endurance is 6, less your initial endurance. 6 less than your initial endurance. So his endurance is literally 6, which may stand in our favour. But each blow of his inflicts 1 die damage more than one of yours. So if you normally hit for 2 dice plus 2, he hits for 3 dice plus 2, and so on. His armor rating is 1, so he's hitting for 2 dice plus 2. He can do up to 13 damage. He could do 10 damage to us in 1 hit. And on equal awareness, it's going to be simultaneous combat. There are no bridge maps, so I might see what I can knock up quickly, even if it's just a simple corridor. I'll go make a token for Bjorn, and we'll do this fight. Okay. So here we have our Bridge of Death, crudely represented by a map grabbed blatantly off the internet. And here we have Sir Alwyn and Bjorn Smithhammer. Since both combatants have equal awareness, they act simultaneously. So there's no point taking turns. Also, as Sir Alwyn is the only hero in the fight and is engaged in single combat, there is no point taking the defense action. He needs to be attacking every turn. Also, as both characters fight simultaneously, they can die simultaneously. Well, to the victor go the spoils, I guess. This one's purely on the dice rolls. Now, let's think about this for a moment. Bjorn has the same fighting prowess, psychic ability, and awareness that Sir Alwyn started with. So, Sir Alwyn's magic sword gives him a fighting prowess of 9 over the 8 that Bjorn has. They both have a psychic ability of 6 and an awareness of 6. Bjorn has 6 less endurance, so he has 6 endurance to Sir Alwyn's 12. He does strike for 1 die more damage, which is going to be crippling, but he only has an armor rating of 1. We're going to have to hope that fighting prowess of 9 comes in. So, I'm going to have them both meet in the middle of the bridge. Just crashing together like that. Maybe here. Nah, it looks fine, right? We just get it in the middle of the screen. Look, oh no. Just might as well zoom in a little bit. Make it look really epic and slightly out of focus. Now, while they act simultaneously, I will take turns for them, but both turns will occur at the same time. So Alwyn will attack because, hey, a 6 will strike. With an armor rating of 1, he is unlikely to cause 6 damage with his 1d6 plus 1 damage, but let's try. Let's try and get as much damage as we can. 3 points is a mere 2 damage. Taking Bjorn down to 4. Bjorn will swing with his mighty hammer and also land a blow for a shocking 2d6 plus 1. Oh, 10! Minus 3 armor is 7 damage, taking us down to 5 endurance. This could easily be a double knockout. We go to the second round. We really needed Sir Alwyn to get a slightly better attack damage roll in the first round there. 5 or 6, so 1 in 3. Okay, let's just go for the attack roll and see how he does. This is going to be short and allegedly sweet. It's a hit. And for damage... Oh! 1 whole point! I have a bad feeling about this. Let's see if Bjorn can miss an attack. No, I have a 6 minus 3. Oh god. 2. This is going to get brutal. So we'll do Sir Alwyn's attack again. That hits. D6 plus 1. Kills. But as it's simultaneous, Bjorn gets an attack, and if he lands this... A 9! He missed by 1! Oh, that 6 damage comes in. 5 over the armor. 3 absolutely dead. And Sir Alwyn staggers away on 2 endurance points. Wow! That was brutal. Okay. So what we'll do... you know what we'll do? Grasslands. These 2 are on the other side. We got Remy. We got Brother Kern. And then here we'll just remove these. And as that was a fight, Ariadne will eat her food. Oh, she doesn't need to. She's on full health now. So Alwyn, on the other hand, absolutely needs to eat some food. And he may need to use that second healing scroll when he makes it across the bridge. Oh! 88. You reach the other side of the bridge and step onto the terrace. The hags glare at you, but keep their distance. If any other players are still on the other side of the gorge, yes, one is. And as this is a non-combat section, he makes it across, is greeted by his friends, and Brother Kern immediately starts tending to his wounds. We'll sacrifice 1 point of healing and do a healing roll. And we don't want to fight anything that does 2d6 plus 1 damage again anytime soon. That is so serious, he will take the damage and transfer the life. There we go. Oh, that was really harsh, but we can also remove the 478 number, as it is no longer needed. Blimey! Okay, so what we want to do is copy... and we'll turn her to face this way. No! Flip. There we go. And we'll see what kind of horrific fate Ariadne faces on the Bridge of Death at section 252. Where, on the other side of the bridge, Brother Kern will be attempting to heal her warrior companion. So let's do that now. 1 whole point. Ah, lost. Okay. If she gets across the bridge and Sir Alwyn is below, say, 7 endurance, we may just have to use a healing scroll on him. Right. Oof. Okay. You may cross the gorge by either of the 2 bridges. To reach the further bridge, however, you would have to step through the waterfall. If you decide to use the nearer of the 2 bridges and step through the waterfall, we will go for the closer, even though it's very dangerous. She is on full health, and she has a white fire spell prepared, which will do a lot of damage if she can pull it off. You step out onto the bridge. As you do, the crumbling voice of the gargoyle's head echoes across the cave. Return from darkness. This section here, we shouldn't really be looking at it, but that 2 dice plus 2 damage, that is a very dangerous foe that we may well have to face with 14 endurance. Oh! This is the kind of place where the defend meta comes into play, seriously. Anyway, let's ignore that for now. Just pretend it's not there on the screen. In answer to his summons, a figure appears at the far end of the bridge. The hags mutter excitedly as he steps rapidly forwards to confront you. A wall of force arises behind you, cutting off your retreat. You must face this foe alone. As he draws near, you recognize the coat of arms on his shield, a horned dragon in gold on an azure field. It is the signia of Sir Guillaume le Cauchemar, an evil knight who was your deadliest foe until you slew him months ago. Guillaume speaks, his voice sounding cold and tinny within his black helm. We meet again for one final encounter, you spell-tossing churl. This time it is I, Guillaume le Cauchemar, who shall send you down into the icy embrace of death. He gives a curt, contemptuous salute, then closes for the kill. Not doses for the kill. Guillaume's endurance and awareness are the same as yours were at the start of the adventure. His fighting prowess is 1 point greater than your initial fighting prowess, while his psychic ability is 2 points lower, so if we had prepared a psychic spell we could seriously hamper him. He inflicts the same damage as you do with each blow, and his armor rating is free. You cannot flee, and your companions, if any, cannot intervene in any way. If you kill Guillaume, then you have rolled some good dice. I think the white fire is going to be our saving grace here, in many regards. We may need to try and cast 2 spells. We may be able to get with 1 spell away with a weapon skill, 1 spell and a weapon attack. But fighting prowess 6 is not ideal. Right, I'll go away, make his token, and be back to resume. Once again, we are here upon the Bridge of Death, where Ariadne the Enchantress faces Sir Guillaume de Cauchemar. Now, both combatants have equal awareness, so once again there's no initiative, they're going to go at the same time, and it'll be simultaneous, which does also mean death can be simultaneous. So Guillaume has fighting prowess on par with our trickster or our sage. His psychic ability is incredibly low, same as our warrior actually, and trickster. His damage is low for a warrior type. It's 1d6 minus 1. And Ariadne has an armor rating of 2, so really that's going to be 1d6 minus 3, meaning on a 1, 2 or 3 he'll do no damage at all, and a 4 to 6 will do 1 to 3 damage. So realistically, he needs at least 4, theoretically 8 hits to kill her. He has an endurance of 10, which is the same as hers, and an armor rating of 3. So she needs to calmly prepare and unleash spells upon him in the hope of wreaking utter devastation. Once again, this encounter is pretty much going to come down to dice rolls, but her spell selection will be important. With a psychic ability of 6, he could fall foul of a Night House spell. Psychic spells also bypass armor, so Night House should be casting on a 6. The next damaging psychic spell is complexity level 3, so it's blasting spells at this point then. Probably just white fire. Just rain down a torrent of it upon him. So round 1. So Guillaume ushers his battle cry and closes in for the kill, rushing across the bridge, while our companions look on aghast. This will be simultaneous combat. So Guillaume will roll his attack first, because I feel like having him... Look, he charged in, he's aggressive, he hits her. However, free damage is 1 point after armor. So damage has been taken. However, that might go both ways, as she will now attempt to cast white fire. And every casting attempt becomes easier. A 7 is bang on the target number, so she unleashes a torrent of white fire upon him and his shiny dark metal armor. Nine whole points. He takes 3 on the armor, 6 points. He's lost over half his endurance points. At this point, things appear to be going her way, and a second white fire after this may well finish things off. 4, 7, yeah, pretty good odds. She just needs to be able to cast it again. On the next round, she calls the spell to mind while he unleashes yet another attack with his sword. He absolutely hits her for a shockingly low 4 points of damage. That's 2 after armor, taking her down to 7 endurance points. Next round, she will attempt once again to cast white fire that she prepared last round. This may not occur this round, and he will attack her with his sword. So we'll have her go first. This time. She succeeds in casting the spell. Before we roll damage, why don't we just roll his attack roll? Get it out of the way there. He misses with his sword. Oh dear. And the white fire deals... That's an F, that's not a D. That's what happens when you make spelling mistakes, guys. 12 points of damage! Almost the most deadly it can do. He has 3 points of armor, that's 9 damage. He only has 6 endurance. He is destroyed. It is at this point, as she crosses the bridge, Brother Kern will encourage her and let her know that she didn't need to worry too much on all those previous occasions where she was very concerned for her health. However, a fight has ended. Everyone can eat food. 1 point of food. I don't remember anything saying you can't eat more than 1 food after a fight, but I'm going to, just in case I'm wrong and there is a limit, I'll do that. Obviously, Sir Alwyn needs to eat food to get back up to a mere 5 endurance. And likewise, Brother Kern can recover a point, which he will blatantly be sacrificing for healing in the next section. He has run out of food, but Sir Alwyn has plenty of it. As does Remy. He can't eat Ariadne's food because she's out on the bridge. That went rather well. It could have gone much worse. She could have fluffed her rolls, spent 3 or 4 rounds trying to cast a spell, and it would have all gone horribly wrong. Okay. 88, and it's the last party member across the bridge. You reach the other side of the bridge and step onto the terrace. The hags glare at you, but keep their distance. If any other players are still on the other side of the gorge, they must decide how to cross. So who will cross? Nope, we're all here. And Brother Kern will attempt 1 point of healing once again. We have a warrior to heal. 6. He gets 4 points back. He'll take back the point he spent. And just put 3 points straight on Sir Alwyn to take him up to 8. At this point, it is gone 3 in the morning. I think I'm going to take these lot back to the main map. I'll remove this. And in case I need to redo this, I will. Oh, wait, it's... you need to use the keyboard shortcuts, yeah. There we go. So put Remy back there, Sir Alwyn back here. We'll flip to get them back the way they should be. There we go. I may change the party marching order, but I think it's time to end the episode. Oh, that's rough. Okay, so I was hoping to go a little bit further. And you know what? I'll go at least 1 section further. Now that the show is over, the disgusting hags lope back to their cauldrons. You move across the terrace, feeling their rheumy eyes on you. Their repulsive familiars rush about under your feet, rotting crows with eyes dangling from sockets, yellow-fanged rats, warty, malformed toads with human faces scuttling objects that suggest entrails on legs. They clutch at your heels as you walk past, and you feel you would prefer to be back on the bridge fighting than endure this horror. The hags themselves crouch on the temple steps, gabbling to one another and shrieking with insane laughter. We can talk to the hags. We can walk up the steps to the temple. We could take the path around to the right of the temple or to the left of it. Well, I think Brother Kern needs to perform some more healing here. I doubt he'll roll another 6. He did not. I think I will let that go down to an 8 and take Sir Alwyn back up to a 9 because he's more likely to be in harm's way. And that 1 point of armor is going to make a little bit more of a difference, but he's going to really need it. I will end the episode here. I feel I've done enough. I have braved the Bridge of Death, and I was hoping to go into the temple and deal with that, but I do know that'll take a little bit of a while, and it would have been nice to end the episode at the end of the temple section. But I've done enough. I'll rest here. Okay, that brings us to the end of an episode. We've eaten some food. We've freed up some item slots. Sir Alwyn has 2 empty slots. Brother Kern has 1. Oh, should have opened the golden snuff box. But no, he was far too badly hurt. I don't know, because she was... Yeah, interesting. 3, 4. He would have been on 5 endurance. That would have been risky. And Ariadne has 1 empty. So we got about 3 item slots empty to carry things. I think we've done okay. We didn't cover much ground this episode, but we did cover a fair bit of content. The bridge encounters are very dangerous, and it's quite easy at this low rank to lose a character. I hope you've all enjoyed this episode upon the Bridge of Death, and I will look forward to seeing you all in the very next one, where we will explore the temple, maybe talk to the hags, maybe even walk around the side paths a bit, who knows. But for now, I've got to go rest. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Cheerio, everybody. Bye-bye.